Hello and welcome to the heart of racing. We're only 2 days away from the festival and I'm going to give you a bit of a Cheltenham preview. What we're going to do in this video is have a look at some of the bigger races, some of the grade ones, and see if we can find out a decent winner or even a decent outsider for the race. But we'll have a look at a lot of these fields and see what we can find. So, the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Now, 3-1 the field here. First thing I want to say is that backing with Sky Bet, I'm going to be with Sky Bet all week, but Sky Bet are offering money back if you lose on the first race every day at Cheltenham. So let's say I wanted, I don't know, on Friday I wanted £10 on the horse in the Gold Cup. I might as well, even if I don't fancy anything, put £10 on the first race at Cheltenham that day and get a £10 free bet and then put that £10 free bet on a Gold Cup horse. So every day, money back up to £20 with Sky Bet if your horse loses, so definitely worth doing. Now, Supreme Novice Hurdle, Mellon is the favourite in this field, 3-1, and Mellon is not been exposed to anything decent yet. It won pretty well out over in Ireland, and it's going to be Ruby Walsh's pick. And Willie Mullin says that this horse destroys everything else in the yard at the moment, and you know, you can't deny this could be something special. But I would like to take it on along with a lot of punters that I've been speaking to. Ballyandy, 4-1, second favourite for Nigel Twiston-Davies. Sam Twiston-Davies is booked to ride this horse, and he was very happy with this horse on the opening show on Saturday. He was very confident this horse can put in a good show, and I can't see why it can't. Moonracer is 4-1 for the Supreme Novice Hurdle, but I have heard that David Pipe's going to put it into the Champion Hurdle, which we'll go on to in a bit, so I wouldn't be back in Moonracer. Neon Wolf, a very interesting horse. I think it wins whatever race it goes into, but I do think it will go for the Neptune. 4-1 for the Supreme Novice, but this horse is something special. Matt Chapman loves this horse and a lot of punters do. Reading Ollie Bell's article in the Racing Post the other day, and he said from a financial point of view Neon Wolf would be the best thing of the week, and I definitely think it's got a solid chance in no matter what race it goes into. If it goes into the Neptune, I think it hacks up. But in the Supreme Novice, it'll be a bit more testing for him, but I still think that he'll go pretty well. But I do think he'll go for the Neptune, so I'm not going to touch Neon Wolf there. Bunk off early. Look, I can't see anything happening with this horse. It's currently 6-1. It's on a little bit of a drift at the moment. But Willie Mullins, it's gone up against Mellon out in the yard, and I think Mellon destroys this horse every time. Now, move with the times for Paul Nicholls. My selection for the race, ridden by Mark Walsh. Mark Walsh not ridden a Cheltenham Festival winner, but now he's got some absolute ammunition underneath of him, and I do think that this horse here, move with the times, could go very well for Paul Nicholls. It's had plenty of runs and has a lot more experience than some of the others in the field. River Wild for Nicky Henderson. I'm not going to look past this horse. I do think it's going to go very well with Nico de Boinville on the back. And we all know Nico can be a bit of a specialist at Cheltenham, but he wouldn't be my selection. I think there's a few horses a little bit better than him in this race. The horse that I do think that's a bit overpriced, I'm not going to go through the whole field, obviously I will be here for ages, is Early Beach for Willie Mullins. I mean, 6 runs and 6 wins. It might not have beaten anything that decent, but you can't deny any horse that's got 6 wins to his name with 6 runs, an unbeaten horse, always going to go pretty well. It's a distance winner as well. 16-1 I definitely think is very overpriced. Elgin as well, 20-1 for Alan King for the Elite Racing Club group. Again, it wasn't, well, it didn't really challenge Neon Wolf last time out, but again, could be a decent runner at a big price if going with Wayne Hutchinson on board. So that's what I like for the Supreme Novice. I'd probably say Move with the Times would be my selection, and Airlie Beach each way could be an interesting shout. Right, now the race after that, the 2:10 at Cheltenham, is the Arkle, and Altior's the favourite for this, 1-4, 4-1 on. And look, I'm not going to go into this race for very long, as he is going to probably hack up here and absolutely destroy the field. Top Notch was entered for this race, but I don't think he's going to go for this one. But that would have been my shout if anything was going to go and try and beat Altior. But Altior he's not a banker for me because I wouldn't be wanting to put £40 on to win 10. But definitely one for the fans to watch, the fans of horse racing. And I hope Altior goes absolutely fantastically. A star of the future. Right, the big race on the first day is the Champion Hurdle, the 3:30, and well, Yanworth is now the favourite. Okay, 3-1 for this race at the moment. All I can say with Yanworth is, yes, he's performed at Cheltenham a few times and been very impressive, but his last run at Wincanton just didn't look good enough. They were doing this on the opening show, they were talking about Yanworth on the opening show, and both Luke Harvey and Matt Chapman said that he just hesitates towards some of his hurdles. He actually looks like he jumps some of his hurdles like he wants to jump fences, and probably a good chaser of the future. But I just don't know, after that Wincanton run, how good Yanworth can be in this Champion Hurdle. I mean, in that race, if you watch it back, Sco Royale, he is in the Champion Hurdle at 33-1, was actually going a lot better than Yanworth about 2 furlongs out. Definitely worth watching that one. And if I was looking about Yanworth, I'd probably be looking at Sco Royale each way as well. I don't like Yanworth at all, unfortunately, just after that Wincanton run. Moving on to the other JP McManus ride, Bouverdere for Nicky Henderson. He's going to have to perform on good ground, Bouverdere, with Noel Feely on the back, 7-2 at the moment, but I don't know whether this is the horse to win it. The horse that I do think will win it, and I've said this for so long, is Petit Mouchoir. He's on the paper just over my left shoulder here. Currently 11-2. He put up a reasonable time out in Ireland in the Irish Champion Hurdle on very slow ground. And on the quicker ground at Cheltenham, I do think this horse is going to be a lot better. I know a couple of the connections of this horse in terms of the breeding. And they absolutely love this horse, and they're going over from France to go and watch this horse race in the Champion Hurdle. And I do think in the Gig and Sam Cullens with Brian Cooper on the back, I do think this horse will go and win it at 11-2. He has got again perform on the better ground, but I think with the time he put up on slow ground and the fact that the breeders think he could go very well on the good ground, I think he's going to be a lot quicker and put up a very impressive time. So Petit Mouchoir's the winner of that race for me. Now, the one that I would like to look at that's, well, it hasn't run for a little while now, is Brain Power for Nicky Henderson. A lot of people think this horse here could be the winner. 13-2 at the moment, a lot of money coming for Brain Power. And I do think, I don't know, well, I guess Nico de Boinville is going to go on the back of this horse. And again, Nico, a very good jockey over at Cheltenham. And on good ground, this horse should perform very well and could be a decent chance in this race. But I still think, I'm still going to side with my Petit Mouchoir. Footpad could be the interesting one here at a big price of 25-1 for Willie Mullins. Didn't run too badly behind Petit Mouchoir in the Irish Champion Hurdle. And I do think this horse should go very, very well on the better ground, because it has performed on the good ground before. One of Willie Mullins' only entries in the race. He would have had Petit Mouchoir if Gigginstown hadn't taken horses away from him. But Footpad for Willie Mullins could be the each way shout. The new one is in this race. Do I think the new one's going to win that? No, unfortunately. I think Ballyandy's the choice for Nigel Twiston-Davies and Sam Twiston-Davies in the Supreme Novice as their sort of best shout of the week. But the new one, I just can't see the performances put up. I can't see this horse going and beating some of these horses. I think they're too class for the new one at the moment. Vroom Vroom Mag, I have just heard, has been entered into the mares along with Limony, which is unlike Rich Ritchie. It looks like they're going to have the two horses running against each other, and I do think they'll have first and second in that race, but we'll move on to that in a second. But for the Champion Hurdle, I'm going to go Petit Mouchoir to win that race, and I'm going to go Footpad each way as a very interesting outsider. Right, the Mares Hurdle now, and I'm only going to talk about the two horses in here, because I think they're the only two horses that could go and win this race. And that's Limony and Vroom Vroom Mag, both Willie Mullins, both Rich Ritchie. And it'll be interesting to see what Ruby Walsh takes up here. I've got a feeling that he'll take up Vroom Vroom Mag, and probably the likely winner of that race, currently 6-4. Limony 5-4, but I don't know whether the betting's going to change soon due to the fact they've both been confirmed for that race. Unlike Rich Ritchie to send two into the same race, he's not that kind of bloke. But I do think he's going to have the forecast here, and I think he could have first and second. But Vroom Vroom Mag will be my selection for the Mares Hurdle, but I wouldn't go too big on that race, just because I think that Limony could put it up to Vroom Vroom Mag, and you wouldn't want to be backing that horse at a short price. But Vroom Vroom Mag to win the Mares would be my pick there. Moving on to the Wednesday now, and we're into my nap. I'm only going to talk about this horse because I do think this horse is going to absolutely hack up in the Neptune. And the horse is Neon Wolf. I said that he may go for the Supreme, but I do think Neon Wolf's best choice will be going to the Neptune. I think the ground's going to be on the better side for Neon Wolf, so Harry Fry will make the decision to go for the Neptune. But he's definitely my nap of the week, definitely my banker, and a lot of other punters' bankers as well. Bacardi's in there for Willie Mullins, always got to be wary of a Willie Mullins horse, and Death Duty for Gordon Elliott. And Brian Cooper does seem very confident in this horse, but taking on Neon Wolf, I've watched loads of Cheltenham previews last week, and all trainers are talking about Neon Wolf, saying he's going to be very difficult to beat, and I'm pretty sure he could be one of the best horses in training, definitely in the top 10 at the moment, and could be an incredible chaser of the future. So Neon Wolf to win the Neptune in the 1:30 on the Wednesday. Moving on to the 2:10 now, the RSA Novice Chase. Might bite the favourite in this field, 5-2 for Nicky Henderson and Nico de Boinville. And I believe this is the lay of the week. I can't see this horse winning. He's very hesitant at his jumps and can be prone to a few mistakes. Other horses in here that could, well, a lot of money's come for this horse, Acapella Bouguer. I'm pretty sure I've said the name right there, for Mrs. Sandra Hughes. 6-1 at the moment, but a lot of money coming from 10-1 to 6s. So a very interesting one there, but not one that I've really paid much attention to. Alpha des Obeaux for Mouse Morris, also 6-1. Last time it ran there it was pulled up, and I don't like a horse that's been pulled up on his last run. Doesn't really catch the eye for me. Whisper in this race for Nicky Henderson, Davy Russell on this horse, and Davy Russell is a very, very good tactical jockey. 8-1, that's coming from 14s, course winner and distance winner. So definitely one to side with, the fact he's won the last 2 times out. American for Harry Fry, he was pretty impressive last time out as well. 9-1, it's a very good race this now looking at it. But American should have Noel Feely on the back of that one. And I look forward to seeing that one run. He could be my selection here. The other one that I would like to have a little look at maybe would be 007 at a big price. Aidan Coleman confirmed on this one for Nicky Henderson. But he loves Cheltenham 007. He shouldn't actually be called 007. The name is 007. There's no double in it. But 007, 25-1. Aidan Coleman's been confirmed for this ride, so it looks like he's definitely going to go for this one. It's going to be a bit of a step up for 007. But I do think he is going to go very well at a big price. But my selection is going to be American for this race at 9-1. But my each way shout will be 007 for Nicky Henderson and Aidan Coleman. Right, the 3:30, the big race at Cheltenham on the Wednesday is the Betway Queen Mother Champion Chase. Duvan the favourite in this race, 7-2 on. Look, Duvan's a superstar, there's no doubt about it. Is anything able to beat it? No. Would be my simple answer. A lot of people I know have got Altior and Duvan in a double as sort of a banker for the week, but not anything that I'd be wanting to touch. What I do like in this race though is Special Tiara at 20-1 each way. I do think Special Tiara, last time it ran in this race, it was behind Sprinter Sacra. And you know, he didn't run a bad race, and I do think if he runs the same race again he'll be up in the placings. And at 20-1 with Noel Feely on the back for Henry de Bromhead, I do think he will go very well. Undersow also in this race for Willie Mullins. Look, Willie Mullins has got one in there that's going to absolutely hack up in this race. Undersow though, last time it ran in this race, it was battered in the placings with Special Tiara. I do think Special Tiara will just take him close to the line in that champion chase here. Altior is 9-4 for this race. He's surely not going to go for this. There's no chance. What we would love to see is Altior hack up in the Arkle, Duvan hack up in the champion chase, and next year hoping that they both go up against each other, and that'll be one heck of a battle, I'm sure of that. So my selection for this race would be Duvan, but Special Tiara each way is definitely a decent bet for the week. To the Thursday now, and we're coming towards the end of the week, and the first race on the Thursday is the GLT Novice Chase. York Hill the favourite for this race, 11-8. Ed Chamberlain and Ollie Bell's banker for the week. I was listening to this on their Facebook Live. Now look, York Hill, if you back it 11-8, as Ed Chamberlain did say, you're backing him to get round. He's a very playful character and could do absolutely anything. But let's just remember his race at Aintree. He made so many mistakes but still beat a pretty decent field. And again, he probably will end up doing the sort of similar race again here at Cheltenham. However, Top Notch, 7-2. A little bit of money coming for Top Notch. Won very well at Sandown last time out. I was there to watch that race. And I was very impressed with the way that horse went. Disco in the Gigglesdale colours for Noel Mead. I guess Brian Cooper's going to be on there. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but you'd probably expect Brian to be booked on that. Distance winner. Look, Gigglestown runners are always a worry in any of the races. Anything in the big colours, JP McManus colours or the Gigglestown colours, always tend to worry me no matter what price they are. But again, another horse that should go well, but it'll be difficult to take on Top Notch and York Hill. Politolog. Paul Nicholls and Sam Twiston-Davies. Sam Twiston-Davies on the opening show on Saturday was very pleased with this, and he said it could be one of his better rides of the week. And again, it was pretty alright last time out. I wouldn't say it was anything special, not to the standard York Hill or Top Notch, but again, not a bad horse. And again, money coming for this horse, 5-1 now, in from 7s. And Sam Twiston-Davies booked for this ride, and it should go very well. But I'm going to go with Top Notch to win this race. But the worry there is York Hill, but I just think York Hill may make too many mistakes and end up getting a bit caught towards the line. So Top Notch, my selection at 7-2 for Nicky Henderson and Darryl Jacob. Now the 250 on the Thursday is the Ryanair Chase. Now the one thing you've got to remember with the Ryanair Chase is that the O'Learys, they own Ryanair, and the O'Learys own Gigglestown colours. Now, I always think this is a sign, especially when I'm looking at races out in Meydan, when a race is named after a sheikh. I always look at the sheikh's horses to go and win one of those races. And it's the same here. Empire of Dirt is 4-1 for this race. He's not the favourite, but he is 4-1 for this race, backed in from 7s. Now, they haven't decided whether they're going to send Empire of Dirt to the Gold Cup or to the Ryanair. But the fact he could be one of Gigglesdown's only runners in the field in the Ryanair, I do think he's got a massive chance for Gordon Elliott. Course and distance winner, and again, like I said, they own Ryanair, the O'Learys, and a race that they would probably love to win. Underso 5-2 for Willie Mullins. Who knows where Underso goes? Does he go for the Champion Chase, or does he go for the Ryanair? I'd like to think he'll go for the Champion Chase, but there is a chance he could go for this Ryanair. Duvan is the favourite, no chance he's going there. There is no way that Mullins will swerve around and go, yep, do you know what, we're sending Duvan to the Ryanair. He's going in the Champion Chase, that's confirmed. So there's no point in backing Duvan at 2-1 for that race there. So Underso the favourite, 5-2 pretty much. Empire of Dirt 4-1, he would be my selection. One that I do think is at a very big price, maybe Fox Norton for Colin Tizard. Runs pretty well on his day. 16-1, last time out, you know, he wasn't at his best, but let's look what he was behind. Only the one and the only Altior. He was 13 lengths behind Altior, but obviously Altior didn't have to do much to win that race. But Fox Norton on his day can produce a big race. So I'm going to go with Empire of Dirt to win the Ryanair, and I'm going to say that Fox Norton as an each way shout could be pretty decent. Other horses in there, Vroom Vroom Mag. Look, Vroom Vroom Mag's entered in about 6 races, chases and hurdles. He's going to go for a hurdle, and we know now he's going for the mares. But it looks like he could be a chaser of the future, the fact he's been entered in some of these races. So definitely one to look out for in the future. Sub-Lieutenant in the Gigglesdown colours has had some support though. 14-1 into 8-1 the last couple of weeks for Henry de Bromhead. But I do think if Gigglesdown are going to send one out to win, it's got to be Empire of Dirt, and he is definitely the selection there. The big race on the Thursday now is the Stayers Hurdle, used to be known as the World Hurdle, at 3:30. You know what I mean, Harry is the favourite in this race, and what a worthy favourite this is. It's absolutely smashing. Look, unbeaten in God knows how many runs. 5-4 for the race. Harry Fry, Noel Feely booked on this in the JP McManus colours. And a lot of people think this is the horse that's going to absolutely smash it at a reasonable price. No odds on here, 5-4, but should go and smash it. And look, do I think that's going to happen? I don't think he's going to smash it, but he's a worthy winner if he does go and win that race. Horses that I do think that are a bit overpriced is Shane's Hill for Willie Mullins at 7-1. Money has come for Shane's Hill, 12-1 into 7s. But another horse that should go very well. Jet Ski, again, look, jet skis performed very well at Cheltenham in the past, we all know that. 14s into 7s, and probably the likely race for this to go in. I just don't think he can get there. Yanworth's in the race as well for the JP McManus team. He's going to go for the champion hurdle, I'm pretty sure of that. But Shane Seal definitely the overpriced one in that race. And West Approach for Colin Tizard. I don't think he ran a bad race on Cheltenham Trials Day with Ruby Walsh on board. Seemed to stay on towards the end, and I don't think it had the best run. It sat at the back of the whole race, about 20 lengths off the pace, and it just came flying home and managed to grab a spot in third. So West Approach is going to be my each way shout there. And I'm just going to go with Shane's Hill to go and beat You Know What I Mean Harry. Don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of love with You Know What I Mean Harry. But Shane's Hill, I think, could be a very interesting runner and one that could go and win that race. So Shane's Hill at 7-1 and West Approach for Colin Tizard and Tom Scudamore as my each way shout. Moving on to the Friday and the 1:30 to start off without the Triumph Hurdle. And Defi Desoy is the favourite here for Philip Hobbs. 6 runs unbeaten, course and distance winner. 7-4 for this race. Look, again, another one like You Know What I Mean Harry that just looks a horse that should go extremely well, should go and win this race. You can't deny with an unbeaten horse here that it's hard that you can oppose it. Charlie Park's also in the race. It fell last time out, which was a bit disappointing, and at 6-1 I don't think this is going to be his year. Charlie Parks, but definitely one to look out for next season. I think the fall might have just affected his confidence maybe a little bit. Some horses do get affected by the fall, but we'll see what Charlie Parks can produce during the Cheltenham Festival if going. Master Blue Eyes for Alan King and Wayne Hutchinson ran very well last time out, and again at 6-1 a reasonable price. I'm going to be taking on Defi Desoy. With Land of Hope and Glory, this is where I come in with my selection. Joseph O'Brien, Aidan O'Brien's son, taken a lot of the JP horses and a lot of the flat horses for Aidan O'Brien, where all of Aidan's sort of disappointing flat runners have gone to Joseph, who's turned them into some decent hurdlers. And Land of Hope and Glory, yes, his form figures might not be the greatest, but on that quicker ground, if they run a slow race in that Triumph Hurdle, Land of Hope and Glory, if it turns into a bit of a sprint, he's going to be the winner of that race, I'm pretty sure. Not a bad flat horse, really, if you actually look at what it went up against and how it performed. But on that quicker ground, I think Land of Hope and Glory, if a slow race is run, he will absolutely fly home towards the finish. And it's my selection at 14-1. I actually got this horse at 16, so only a little bit of money coming for that. Soldier in Action, another one, a decent horse. I watched this horse at Goodwood in the summer, and that's coming from 33s to 16s after its last win. I think it might be a bit too early for Soldier in Action to be a Triumph Hurdle winner. But if it goes to the Triumph Hurdle, they obviously mean he's got a chance, so another interesting runner. But I do think a big prize winner is going to come out of this race, and Land of Hope and Glory is going to be my selection at 14-1. Now the 250, the race before the big one on the Friday, is the Albert Bartlett Novice Hurdle, and Def Duty 2-1 favourite for this race. 4 runs unbeaten, 4 runs this season, and they've all been wins. 2-1. Brian Cooper on board for Gordon Elliott, and listening to Gordon Elliott in the Betfair Cheltenham Preview night, nothing in this race frightens Gordon Elliott, which is quite good really for some of the punters who especially want to get on a bit of 2-1, kind of a bit of value there for a horse that maybe should be a lot shorter. But 2-1 Def Duty, and Gordon Elliott is not frightened of anything else in this race. West Approach for Colin Tizard. Look, Colin Tizard could have an excellent week. He's had the most cracking season, and even reading the Racing Post the other day saying that he could go onto the flat in the future. That could be crazy stuff. But I definitely think one of the best National Hunt trainers at the moment. 4-1 West Approach, but again, does it scare Gordon Elliott? No, it doesn't. And Def Duty still the selection here. One horse that could go well at a big price, maybe Augusta Kate. Again, I don't like a horse that's fallen last time out because of confidence reasons. But Willie Mullins is going to have a cracking week like always, although he's missing some of his big guns in terms of Annie Power, Faheen, and obviously had a few losses this season with some of his horses. But he's still got an absolutely cracking yard full of beasts. And Augusta Kate at 6-1 for Willie Mullins, distance winner, could go very well, but there's no chance I'm going to be taking on Def Duty. If Gordon Elliott says he's not scared of anything, then I'm not scared of anything either, and I think 2-1 is a bit of value for Def Duty in the 250 Albert Bartlett Novice Hurdle. Now the Gold Cup, it's the big one, the 3:30 on the final day, and a lot of people, it's like the National really, a lot of people tend to have a bet on this race, and it's my favourite race of the year in terms of National Hunt over the Grand National, and we're actually going to start from the bottom of the betting and work our way up, and T for 2, 66-1 for Nick Williams. Now, I think this horse is very overpriced, but a lot of you are going to tell me down below that I'm being a bit silly, but I think the run in the King George wasn't that bad and could be looking for a little bit more in terms of distance. Lizzie Kelly thinks there could be a tea party after the Gold Cup, and she thinks it should go very well, and obviously she will as a jockey of the horse, but I love T for 2. It is on the wall just behind me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there she is riding a signed picture there, and well, I'll get another signed picture from Lizzie if she does go and win this race. I don't think she could be the winner, but definitely one that could be in the placings if the race is run to T for 2's liking. So 66-1 I do think is a pretty big price for T for 2. Sapphire de Rure 66-1 for Paul Nicholls as well, with Sam Twiston-Davies. I'd prefer T for 2 over that one, but Sam Twiston-Davies was pretty confident of this horse on the opening show again on Saturday, but again as a jockey they're going to be. But he said if he could be riding a horse in that race, he'd want to be on Jackadam, which we'll get into in a second. Irish Cavalier for Rebecca Curtis. Look, form figures just say that it shouldn't go and win this race. It should have no chance at all. That's 66-1 there. Smad Place, Madge from On the Line. If you don't watch at the race, if you watch at the races, you'll know of Madge. She speaks to Matt Chapman almost every other week. She's got 90 something years old, and is absolutely smashing to see, and she loves this horse, Madge, and she would love to see this horse run the Gold Cup, and I'm pretty sure there with the jockey booking it's going to run for Madge. Alan King and Wayne Hutchinson, I don't think he's going to win the race, but he's a beautiful jumper, Smad Place, and that Hennessy win a few years back was pretty decent. So Smad Place 40-1 could be someone's selection, not mine though. Manila Rocco, now I think these two for John Joe O'Neill are, for some reason I think they're overpriced. Manila Rocco 25-1 and more of that 14-1. More of that I think was going very well in the Irish Gold Cup before unseating the rider. Along with Manila Rocco, I do prefer more of that over the two. Manila Rocco didn't run bad in the Irish Gold Cup I suppose, but he wouldn't be the selection. If I was to take one out of the Irish Gold Cup, it will be more of that. I think he was finishing very strongly. He was very unlucky to be unseated, to be honest. And at 14-1 he's going to be my each way shout, and we'll get into my actual selection in a second. Bristol de May 20-1, just after being beaten by Native River last time. I just don't know whether Bristol de May's up for it this year. I think it might be too early for him, and could be one for the Gold Cup next year. At a short price he could be next year, so I think this year is a bit too early for him. Maybe give him a bit of experience and run him in the Gold Cup, but next year is Bristol de May's year in my opinion. Champagne West, another horse that tends to run his race for Henry de Bromhead at 14-1. Again, I just don't know. I think I prefer more of that, and even Bristol de May over Champagne West in that race. Empire of Dirt, Gordon Elliott. I said this horse should go for the Ryanair. They're going to make a decision as late as possible, I think, the O'Learys, on where this horse goes. But I do think if it goes to the Gold Cup, it's got a solid chance. But I do think they're going to stick this in the Ryanair. So Empire of Dirt, just one to watch, I think. Sizing John, in terms of class in the field, maybe Sizing John's one of the better horses in terms of what he's been able to do and what he's beaten in the past. Ran very well, obviously, in the Irish Gold Cup, the winner of that race, beating some decent horses, including Empire of Dirt. And 9-1, a lot of money came in for him after the Irish Gold Cup, and definitely one, if I was to side with some of the Irish horses, he could be one to go for as a winner. But the one I'm going to go with for the Irish team is Gordon Elliott's Outlander with Brian Cooper on board. Now Outlander, he just looks a different horse this season. I mean, Matt Chapman, I was listening to this again on the line, saying, do you think all of these races that he's lost in are worthy of a Gold Cup win? My answer to that would be no. But do I think that the way he's been running this season could be worthy of a Gold Cup win? Potentially. And at 9-1 he's going to be my selection. Native River, now 7-2 for this race. A bit of a drift on Native River. considering he's been pretty impressive the last few times out. A lot of people think this might be a bit too much for the season, Native River. I disagree with them. I think he's definitely a worthy runner in this race, and just a horse that doesn't seem to make any mistakes. So 7-2, a bit of value now for Native River, and it's becoming more open as Q Card and Native River are both drifting. Jackadam, well, money's coming for this horse, and I agree with a lot of the ITV team. This horse will go off favourite for this race. A lot of jockeys saying that if they had to pick a ride in this race, they'd pick Jackadam for Willie Mullins. But 7-2, I do think this horse could go off around 2-1, maybe 5-2. So just if you do like Jackadam, get on in as early as possible, because I can't see this horse drifting. Q Card 7-2, joint favourite with the three of them here. Again, what a story this will be. It'll be the story of the week, I think, if Q Card goes and win this. He's the people's horse. If he does go and win this race, I think that's the end of Q Card. That'll be it. You might as well retire him on a high, like Alex Ferguson. You leave on a high, win the league, and just leave the club. That's exactly what Q Card should do. Go and win one of the bigger races, and then be retired. Q Card, I got a picture again of him behind me, winning at Fontwell with Joe Tizard on board. And I'd just love to see Q Card win this race. If anything was going to beat my selection Outlander, I'd love it to be Q Card. I wouldn't be bothered about the money lost on Outlander if Q Card went and won this. But my selection is going to be Outlander at 9-1. And my each way shout is going to be more of that for the John Joe O'Neill team. So that is my selections for the Gold Cup. Let me know down below in the comments who's yours. Right, that is the end of my Cheltenham preview in terms of looking at the races. However, I am going to quickly go over a lot of people's bankers. I've been going through Twitter and just having a look at what people are tweeting in regards to bankers. Now, Jackadam seems the most popular bet of the week, and like I said, he's being backed for fun and will go off favourite for the Gold Cup, probably around 2-1, 5-2. And a lot of people loving this horse, and well, he deserves it really. The last few runs in the Gold Cup, he definitely deserves a win, to be honest. Other ones that have come out, You Know What I Mean Harry, obviously Duvan and Altior, but I'm not too interested in those as bankers. You Know What I Mean Harry's another one, and Neon Wolf. So Neon Wolf, You Know What I Mean Harry, and Jackadam seem the three bankers of the week. So if you're going to go and do treble on the more popular horses, those seem to be the top three there. The one outsider that I want to talk about of the week is actually on the Thursday in the 410, the Brown Advisory. And the horse that I'd like to say could go and win this is Arkle. Now, this was 33-1 yesterday. I then backed it. I woke up this morning and it's now 20-1 for Paul Nicholls. I absolutely love this horse. I don't think his 7th place finish last time was up to his full standard. But the 2 runs before that were pretty impressive, to be honest. And 21 seems a pretty big price here in this handicap. So Arkle is going to be he's actually going to be my each way bet of the week in the Brown Advisory, the 410 at Cheltenham on Thursday. So Arkle, my each way bet of the week there, and my nap of the week is going to be Neon Wolf. In whatever race he goes in, I think he'll go and win that race. Right, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to have you here as always on the Heart of Racing. This is something a bit different. You can go leave comments down below saying, oh, you're wrong with this, you're wrong with that. But everyone's got their opinions in terms of betting. Every horse will be backed in a race by someone different. So you can say that everyone's wrong in some ways. But I think they could be some decent runners there at Cheltenham that I've selected. And I'd love to hear yours. Please put them down in the comment section. Any doubles you've had, any lucky 15s you've had, any lucky 63s if you're that confident. Anything that you've got, leave it down in the comment section, because I can't wait to hear what you lot have gone for. I wish everyone the best of luck at Cheltenham. I'm going to be back midweek for Thursday Friday Fever on Thursday morning, so we'll look at Tuesday and Wednesday's racing, see what's happened, look over those stories, and then have a quick look into Thursday and Friday's racing and see if anything interesting's coming up that's changed in terms of entries or pullouts in the race. So definitely one to look forward to, my midweek Cheltenham special of Thursday Friday Fever. But it's been a pleasure to have you here for my Cheltenham preview. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go onto our Twitter at Heart of Racing, and please do share these videos. Also switch your notifications on Twitter, and it will notify you every time we upload a video. But thank you. Your support's been fantastic. We're almost at 50 subscribers, and my aim is to just grow this channel. Hope you enjoy your week, and I will see you soon. Cheers.